Today I'm going to be talking about Create This Book. Now, Create This Book was created by Moriah Elizabeth, and it's basically a prompt book, something like Wreck This Journal, but it was created mainly to sort of not so much wreck, but to create new art that you wouldn't otherwise. So I've just completed it, and I'd like to give you a little tour. So here we go. So on the first page, that's just where you write your name. So that's me. And yeah, so basically it tells you a little bit about this book. And basically I think I've drawn over every page at this point. So yeah. Yeah, even the tips and tricks thing, I just couldn't help myself. So I started the book on the 21st of August in 2020, and it was sort of like my break from when I was wanting less screen time. So it took me about 3 to 4 months to finish this book. That's me. So yeah, so you have in this book a rule that you're gonna make, and you're gonna kind of follow it throughout the book. You could like create a specific image that you wanted throughout the whole thing, or a cohesive look. For myself, I kind of wanted to challenge myself to create art that made myself proud. Having created art for a number of years, it was a challenge to make sure that every single page was something that I would show somebody, and hopefully I have achieved it. You can see like sometimes the ink from the next page would bleed through, and this is because it's not that high of a GSM of paper, but all good. I guess I should have double paged that. Oops. Selfie! Oh, I forgot selfie. Now some pages are more for like writing stuff down, so that's why there's that. And there's just less to sort of make up and make pretty. So yeah, sometimes it's just me scribbling away. I try my best to use like different mediums in all the pages, so it would give it a bit more variety rather than just like drawing in every page. And sometimes I kind of ignored the rules completely and did something on my own. I didn't want to fold a page just because I knew if I did, then the rest of the pages would be difficult for me to write and draw on. So I did something else, and I drew something that was folded. You know, like the Thousand Paper Cranes from that book. I don't know what it's called. It's my ideal meal, or at least it was at the time. Just junk food of any kind. And if I could sleep in a bed made of food, probably would. Now, some of these ideas I did get online. This is just like a bunch of washi tape that I stuck together to make the border. But like some of the ideas are sort of taken from elsewhere and then kind of adapted to my own style. Yeah. Yeah, this is just words. Okay, so the quick sketches, those are the ones in black and white. So you have a minute to sort of sketch something. And honestly, I think it's not that bad. you see like the shiny paper behind? So this is for creating a refusal. So basically you're gonna write in the box here, and say that you are going to sort of refuse the instructions on that page. So you'll see later on what I decided to refuse. Like, I think this is a direct recreation of something Moriah Elizabeth herself had done on one of her videos, but it was just too cute. And it did have colorful stripes, so plagiarism. Right, this was the one made with wax, and I used basically kids crayons to sort of put wax on the paper, but because wax, it tends to flake and it tends to not hold up very well, so I put like basically packing tape all over the book, and yeah, that's kind of how I'm sealing it in and making sure that it stays nice and fresh. This is my little pocket. So there's a pocket on the inside, and I've just put some additional stickers and stuff that I didn't end up using. I put in this one. Alright, so this one is like to create your own directions. Mine was to cover this page with desserts, and Lord knows desserts are my weakness. I don't know, does this page look boring to you? It's supposed to invoke boredom, and I suppose it did at the time, but I guess it's kind of interesting in its own way. My fantasy home. Because Lord knows, if I could live in Hogwarts and not be a muggle, that would be ideal. The fabric page. So the ears of the little Dumbo, yeah, that's made of fabric. Creepier than I thought. This was the challenge where you had to fill in the page without using your hands. Now, obviously, there is no actual way to fill this in without using your hands, though I suppose you could use your feet, but, to make it aesthetic, what I did was I sort of used my eyes and my camera to take a bunch of photos, and I included those photos here. Like I said, I kind of interpreted the rules kind of on my own terms, so what are you gonna do? Oh, these were the list of fads. So these were the fads that I included, the fads of quarantine, when everyone was doing like the I don't care kind of look. Everyone was masking up and toilet papering up, a dalgona coffee. Everyone was cooking. Everyone was on TikTok, and Animal Crossing became one of the biggest games at the time. I think this remains one of my favorite pages to date, just because I don't know, I really like the colors and I really like how the page came out. Who did I share this with? Kind of shared it with myself. It's quarantine. Who am I going to share it with? These were color combinations, so like the different combinations of the little food couples, I like to call them. Oh, this was the nostalgia page. And yeah, I really like these. Like, these are old cartoons from my childhood back in the 90s. And then I wrote a little something something on this page. An advertisement for a Vanilla Bunny Frosty. Look how cute. How to use chopsticks. Very important. These are my nonsensical creatures, but I made little creatures that I dubbed as sort of little viruses. That's COVID-19. The little devil right there. I don't know if this is actually my favorite page. Maybe it's one of my favorites, but um, it's really hard to like make an exact page that will be my favorite. Definitely challenging. This, however, was not challenging. I just drew something and put the washi tape on this page that I thought was the ugliest that I owned, and I can definitely tell you, one of my least favorite pages. Oh, this might be one of my favorite pages, just cause like, I just love the colors and the inclusion of like the theme. It's very aesthetic. These were to create stencils, and then sort of I stuck them down onto the next page so they could kind of, you would kind of see the designs the punchers made. These were a set of twins. Is it just me, or do sometimes twins come across as like kind of creepy? Just me? Straight lines. We don't have that much weather here in Malaysia, but I'll tell you, when hay season hits, that that's that's always a thing. So the weather I'm picking is haze. This is my person. Basically, she's the person that I would think is nature born. So she could be a woman of the sea or a woman of the land. That's kind of what I was going for here. These are my like interview questions. Questions that I thought like you would need to answer at some point in your life. Like, for example, what is life asking of me? Shh, that's a question for another day. Oh, one of my favorite TV shows, The Office, particularly the American one. And my favorite episode is the one where they do parkour in the beginning. Epic. Oops. Like I said, I definitely have a thing for Hogwarts and Harry Potter and all the characters. Here I sort of created a symbol, but I think it's like based off a Nordic symbol, and the Nordic symbol basically says that, it's a symbol of eternal love, and to me, eternal love was kind of showcased through the Weasley parents. So there's that. It's my little paint by numbers page. Oh, this is a collage, and I think I made this with like tissue paper. Makes a nice ASMR noise. Yeah, I kind of chose to omit this There's no adventure that we're really taking in quarantine, but adventure time. That's the jam too. Yeah, so the profession that I chose was cat saint. Could you imagine working and as something that just has to do with cats all day? That's the job I want. Honestly, between my right and left hand, not that much of a difference. Kind of proud of myself here. This was the dialogue from one of my favorite movies, The Best Exotic, Marigold Hotel, the first one, where she's talking about the art of dunking a biscuit into tea. Very British and very Malaysian. Yep, dedicating it to Hogwarts. No surprise there. I think I did this page from based off of memory of something that I studied in university. Um, when we talked about the parts of the brain. Hopefully they're still correct. Oops. So yeah, this was, I collected string, and so I made them into little ribbons. Ah, my favorite character. I could watch scenes with Scar in them over and over again. The sass on this man. Ugh. This is a page from the past. So if you can see here, it's actually from 2010. See if I can open that up for you. And it's actually like a song that I learned in Japanese at the time. And yeah, so my teacher helped me to sort of translate it. So yeah, that's how I got into that. My weird combos. I don't know why I was able to do the other sketches in a minute, but this took me 10 minutes. And it's horrible. Okay. My unusual superpower. I thought the ability to change genders. Now that would be interesting. Because there's certain things that you just can't get away with as a girl. You can't get away with as a boy. But having the best of both worlds, definitely something worth having. Textures. Yeah, so this is the page that I put the instructions void for. And it said basically to create ugliness. And if you can see based off of my rule in the beginning pages, I was not gonna make a page that I wasn't at least a little bit proud of. So I decided to void this page. And I can say, well, pretty proud of it. Oh, this is the page dedicated to my cat. Her name is Potato, and she's the cutest cat. I will accept nothing less. This is a page from a suggestion from a friend of mine. to basically cover the page with fried chicken. So that's what that's about. So your seat there. So yeah, something I never really draw are dragons. So decided to challenge myself. I guess it's not too bad, but it was definitely challenging to not really be able to reference something or to create something with so much symmetry. Pretty difficult. Props to whoever does this all the time. Create the window. So the little tail, yeah, that's the window, and sort of sneak into the page behind it. This is the upside down page, and I thought it'd be cute if like Spider-Man and Rapunzel were a couple or something. Thought that would be cute. So basically, I don't like many chores at all, particularly doing the laundry. That's just, it's never ending and it's just so much work. Who can relate? Once I'm traveling again, once you're able to, that's where I'm going. I've spoken it here first. And yeah, finished the book on the 30th of December 2020. So that's it. That's the end of this book. I do plan on doing the sequel for this, but we'll see how that goes. For now, I hope you enjoyed, and leave me a comment below on what page was your favorite, or if you've done this book, what have you created that's new and exciting. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye!